Welcome back to Down with the Get Down. I am your co-host, Romel.
And your boy, Derek.
Hey, so we're doing something a little different. We are actually live streaming right now. So if you guys are watching live, we are on twitch.tv/DWG_podcast. Look at that. I got it right.
Yeah.
Without looking at it.
I'm surprised. Proud of you.
But hey, we got some special guests coming through today. To my left, we have the man, the myth, the legend. We have that guy, Mr. Producer, Mr. Everything. Honestly, you do goddamn everything. Do a little bit of everything, big dog. And then we have Mr. Jackson Henderson. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm about to say shout out to Romero Records. Shout out to DMG for letting us use this space as well. This is the guy behind all of this.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And then across from me, we also have another myth in the making, another legend in the making. We have Mr. Coffey.
What it do?
What it do, my boy. So y'all have been doing a little collaboration recently. So we really wanted to put both of y'all on the same platform today to kind of just showcase that and like how did you guys pretty much just like meet and make the magic that y'all created on Come to DMG? Because that's so hard. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we actually met at one of Queen Pharaoh's showcases. I think was the April Flowers.
One of them.
Yeah, I think it was the April Flowers one. And I just noticed that he was a good performer. He had good music. And I was just basically taking notes. Like, I actually performed at the showcase, but I was just kind of there just to pretty much scout talent there. So I ended up talking to a few people there later for, doing music reasons. And Coffey was just one of them. And we ended up, I actually didn't even talk to you for like months after that.
Did not, actually.
Maybe even like a year. And then
You're a real scout.
Yeah.
No, it was months. It was just months.
And then finally, when I was ready to do the Come to DMG album, I hit him up and told him I wanted him on the album. So, yeah.
Seems like y'all been tight ever since.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't even know the half of it.
That's why we're here today. Trying to get a little bit insider.
Yeah.
We new to the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's been definitely a ride. Like, just getting to know certain artists and like talking to people and getting to know who they are. And something that I've realized is like, at first on the album, I was kind of going like half and half of like, these people I think are cool and these people are doing well in music. Like they kind of have a name for themselves. So I want them on the album just for that. And then later on, I was like, okay, I just want people who I like, people who I think are just cool people. So that's something in the industry you have to understand is like, you either chasing people who have clout, which a lot of labels do because they just want the money, and then or you can, for like a small independent label, it's more important for me to work with people who I actually like because I'm working so close with them. Like I'm more hands on with them, so that's why I really picked the people I worked with.
I was like the way you operate as far as what we've seen, it seems like more of a I like you. Now how can I help?
Yeah.
It's like how can I help versus like a lot of labels. You're like, all right, cool, I like you. Go do your thing and make us money.
Yeah.
Bitch ass nigga.
It was like, work slave.
So have y'all seen what's the name of it? Idol? The Idol?
You talking about the one with the Weeknd?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I've
seen clips. It's
I've
crazy.
I've only seen him slap the dude for looking at
I
his
heard
girl.
it got canceled recently.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Canceled?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just for the second season or something?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. Because like there's only 5 episodes, but it seems like the 5th episode was the last episode. But it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
That was completely off from what everybody else has been like. They were like, yeah, this not it.
Oh,
And then-
yeah. A lot of people, for some reason, didn't like it. What I saw, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. The little slap part.
Yeah. It's so not only is it funny, but it's just kind of riveting, I guess, because like me looking at it from a managerial state of like a music executive is like that's what the role that the Weeknd plays in. I was actually thinking about his character's name is Tedros, and so I was thinking about changing my Instagram name to Tedros. 'Cause if you've seen it, you think it's hilarious because like, so what he ends up doing is he actually has like artists that are under him, like he manages them, but he plays this one girl named Jocelyn. And Jocelyn, the writers will tell you that they basically try to copy Britney Spears. So they just made her, she's like thin, but she's got a nice body. And she's like, does drugs and all kinds of stuff. But like she had, I think her mom died like a year before the show. So like all that's going on. But like Tedros comes out of nowhere and like he's just having sex with her all the time. And then he starts manipulating her and like all the people around her. He starts firing everybody, like the guy that Chelsea. No, not that one. The guy he slapped.
Yeah, that used to work with her or something like that.
Yeah, that was like her family's cook or something like that. Or no, he was a doctor. He was like he was some kind of doctor. But anyways, he saw her touching her. And then he was like,
I think it was his family is doctors. He's not a doctor.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
That was just her friend or something like that.
And then he, like, the weekend just saw her touching her. And then he was like, no, you're not going to touch her like that. And then he was like, get out of here. And then he's like, well, I only listen to my boss. And he's like pointing at Jocelyn. And then she's like, I think it's in your best interest that you should go. And then the weekend's like, that translates to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that show I think is pretty funny, and just if you're into music or in the music business, I think you should watch it because it actually shows like how there are teams to things, right? So like Coffey, you pretty much just see me just putting my hands in everything, but like you could have a team for just touring. Like you literally have a team that puts together all your shows and all that kind of stuff. Then you can have a team for your social media. They do all your photos, your videos, stuff like that. And then you could have a team for just your music production. Then you could have a team for the label itself. So you can have all these different teams, and that's what you get to see happen in this show. Is there's all these different teams, and the weekend is kind of like manipulating all these people because he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he just has a sketchy past. But yeah, you got to watch the show. It's a good show.
What is it on?
It's on HBO Max.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I have that.
Yeah, I don't have that.
It's just called Max now.
Oh yeah,
I'll
it's just
just call
called Max.
Max.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, man. I'm gonna have to get HBO Max now.
Max.
Well,
Max.
I'm sorry. Disrespected
Come on
though. The Illuminati gonna come out of nowhere. The weekend gonna come up and slap me.
Yeah. Be careful.
But that kind of reminds me of like I don't know if you've seen Atlanta.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the whole like the music business with that. When I was watching, I was like, dang, is that how it is?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
He said, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
verbatim.
I mean, like, so Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, like him and what's the other guy's name?
To my dude who played Paperboy,
No, the skinny dude.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, he like them two are just like Paperboy's, only involvement of like friends, managers or whatever. And like they are doing. Well, the other dude's barely doing anything, but Donald Glover is doing pretty much all the work for him.
Yeah.
But like, there's so many other pieces that Donald has to talk to other people and stuff like that. So like, yeah, the business is like that. Like you just like, there's that one episode where he like sends them overseas, or it's actually a few episodes, but like they're trying to collect the money, and then the people at the venue like talked about not wanting to pay him up front, not wanting to pay him in cash and all that kind of stuff. Like that that stuff will happen. And so you just kind of have to deviate from what's going on and figure it out. Like somebody might not want to pay you the night of or, before. Yeah. So you just kind of have to figure it out.
That's a wild situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that happens with a lot of people that get to like higher statuses and stuff like that. Because even with like people that do like YouTube, like say like Logan Paul, like he has a ton of people like under him that manage multiple things that he does. And even though he sometimes fucks that up because he does dumb shit, but they make sure that he has multiple different like contracts and stuff like that. So like he works with like WWE and stuff like that. So like before, when they would like host certain things or be a part of like certain organizations, if they just wanted to stop, they would just back out and your entire time has been wasted. Like they would have all these things planned out for like events and shit like that, but if the people that were hosting it didn't want to do it, then they would just say, hey, we're not doing this anymore, and then they would just back out.
So I don't know if I'm ruining The Idol for everybody, but that actually
I'm gonna still watch it.
If you haven't seen The Idol, go watch it. Spoiler alerts. I'm letting the Twitch. I'm letting everybody that's in the Twitch right now know
that actually like happened. Well, it almost happened in The Idol. They had a whole song. This is another thing that happens in the music industry that a lot of people probably don't know. They had a whole song made. Like Jocelyn, she made a song. Had it recorded, the lyrics, everything was done. And she was recording the music video. And while she's recording the music video, like, she starts having a meltdown. Like, she starts thinking about her mom. Like, she actually starts crying out for her mom, who is dead. And then she, like, snaps out of it. And so her, like, label manager is like, we got to find somebody else. But there's a dancer there who they were like, yo, she dances really good. Can she sing? So they start listening to her sing, like while Jocelyn's having her breakdown. And they're like, yo, send her to stage 5. Go record this track right now. So like while Jocelyn is having this mental breakdown, they just replace her with another girl. And so they end up signing that girl to the label. And then by the end of the show, they ended up dropping her because Jocelyn ends up getting her stuff back together. And so, yeah, but that happens all the time. Like, I've actually heard, the song "What Do You Mean" by Justin Bieber?
Yeah.
That was recorded by somebody else. I've heard the other version.
They
just didn't release it.
Oh.
I don't remember who the person was.
So did they give it to Justin? Or was it...
Justin ended up picking up the song. But it was originally recorded by somebody else, done, the demo was done, but they just ended up giving it to Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I've heard that happens to some people sometimes. Like some people will have a whole song that they did, and then like other people that are more famous, if they like it, they're like, "Hey, let me take that."
Yeah,
Give me your shit.
yeah.
I mean, I think they still get paid for it, but
If
it's probably
like
not
writers.
like it's probably not like a lot though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wrote the lyrics, like you'll get paid for it, but at the end of the day, the person who gets all the fame is the performer.
Right.
Whoever performed the song that's who we know.
And
Like,
ultimately,
sure, you got
will
paid.
generate a little bit more money than the person who actually did the song.
Correct, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got paid, but Justin Bieber got paid way more.
The label is usually more interested on who can make this song the biggest. That's what they're usually interested in.
I think that's what the... we about to say? Coffee?
I wasn't going to say anything, actually.
I heard somebody breathe. Somebody said,
I mean, hey, we all trying to live.
but yeah. Really though, that's the crazy situation with that statement is that everybody just trying to live. It's like you coming up and you're like, I put my heart and soul into this. And then somebody's like, yeah, you're not it.
Yeah.
But we love what you just did. We love what you just did,
Yeah.
but we can just use we'll just use someone else to fit this description. And then that's why you have like someone like the writers. I forgot what's his name. I think it's Tony Hall. He did a lot of writing behind the scenes for a lot of different songs, but he did the song, On My Way. Mm-hmm. It's a R&B song. On my way, coming, running to you wherever you stay. That song. It's hey, I might put you on. That's a bedroom song. I don't lie to you. But he did a lot of behind the scenes writing for a lot of people. And then same thing with like Lil Yachty. Like Lil Yachty he writes a lot of people's stuff. And which is a crazy concept that Yachty about everybody that he has a lot more skill that people give him. And then when you actually see that's broadcasted, it's like, okay, it's kind of like I gotta wait on my time, wait on my shine. I gotta wait for someone I can get my money on this, which is a smart kind of idea to kind of be like, I'm gonna get, because in the music industry and also like the film industry, everything is up and down. It's always up and down, but the way to stay relevant is to like do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And so I was like, I feel like that's a trajectory that a lot of these random artists that pop up out of nowhere and they're like, no, I've been here. Been here for a while.
See, I don't know how Coffey feels about this, but like, I think it's always so funny when people bash musicians for not writing their lyrics because it's like, do you think all actors write their own script? Like, you think the actors are writing the script? They're not. They didn't write those words.
Like at most, they do certain lines. And that's it.
Yeah, but like any kind of improv stuff, they might have done that, but that's literally it. Like they just kind of have like maybe one-liners in there, but that's it. So like why are we being so upset when an artist didn't write their lyrics? Because it's like, who cares? It's all about the performance. Like at the end of the day, if you see Leonardo DiCaprio do a performance, like that's it. He just had a great performance.
Yeah.
Like you don't care, if he actually wrote those lyrics.
Yeah.
And something that we were just talking about, like also they replace actors all the time. Like as if I don't know if y'all seen The Witcher, but they were going to replace him.
I love The Witcher, bro.
They were going to replace
Henry
Geralt.
Cavill.
Yeah, so like that, replacing actors or replacing people to make the most money happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though for that, I think they're going to lose money.
Yeah.
Because he's like a huge nerd for that. And so, but I mean, yeah, they do that all the time. Like when they traded, what's his name, for Don Cheadle for War Machine.
Are you talking about, what was his name?
I don't know.
The one who plays Lucius in Empire.
Yeah, where he used to be War Machine
Terrence
for the
Howard.
first,
Terrence
for the
Howard.
first Iron Man.
Damn, man.
And they didn't. That's all I know him by. And they replaced him with Don Cheadle, and Don Cheadle's been there ever since.
Yeah, you don't even remember that he was War Machine in the first one.
Not really.
Not really. He was just like the
He didn't
segue
even-
into it.
He only was in the suit for like the last part, really. So he really didn't even get War Machine's
I ain't even
title
gonna lie.
yet.
I kind of still wanted to see Terrence Howard in that suit.
I did want to see him go forward in the situation. And I was like,
man.
damn, man, Iron Man.
I'm Iron Man. I'm War Machine.
Thanos, man.
War Machine, man.
He like got the glove, man.
Push that shit.
Bro, I think that'd be so funny, the part where he fell out of the sky and he was paralyzed from the waist down, and Tony just comes and helps him out, and he's like, God damn, man, I can't feel my legs, man.
Right, nah, when I ain't gonna lie, that moment was intense.
It was, but I think it would be so funny if it was him.
He was like, man, I can't feel my legs, man.
Oh my God.
He's like, what we gonna do with it? What we gonna do to Thanos? We gonna whoop that trick, man.
That trick, man.
Gonna whoop that trick.
There's a picture of him as Hank Hill from King of the Hill. And he was
damn
like,
it,
that boy ain't right, man.
That boy ain't right, man. That boy.
There was one
Damn it, bro.
of him as Spider-Man. He was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Aquaman.
Oh my God. I haven't seen any of these.
They need to. Oh, you haven't seen them, bro.
Nah,
They've been
you-
on Terrence Howard case
For a
for a
while.
while.
Yeah.
'Cause
Ever
they-
since Hustle and Flow.
Where's he from?
I have
I don't know.
I'm not
no
sure.
idea.
Where is Terrence Howard from?
You know, my mom was actually on that set of Hustle and Flow.
Oh, really?
Dang, for real?
She has pictures with them in the behind the scenes and all that.
Was she at the club?
Nice.
That's what's up.
At Crystal Palace?
That was about the only
Did
other
she
place I
did
could
she
think
get
of.
paid though? No, she got paid.
Man, I don't know.
He was born in Chicago. Yeah, he from Chirac.
Makes sense.
No, he should have been from Memphis because that movie was from Memphis. man.
Just maining around.
Just maining around. But I'm about to say, got another one for you guys. So as far as project wise, what has been like? I'll think about what you had said to me the other day about projects. It's like it's always something that we put out that we think is our best thing, but for some
but it
reason-
was ass.
But it was ass
Yeah.
to everybody else.
And one that you're like, man, that wasn't that good, but
Yeah.
everybody fucks with it, and you're like, I don't know why.
We talk about that quite often, actually.
Well, you really did that with Payphone.
Yeah.
So Coffey has a song on "Grind Until You Shine," his album, out now. But
Talk to her. Hey, ain't no
Put it
shameless
in the
plug here.
description.
Plug it all.
yeah, he basically was asking me like, what should I promote? How do I go about this? And I was like, honestly, no, these 3 songs I think are your best songs on the album. And I was like, but seriously, like I would re-record Payphone. I was like, it sounds okay, but it could sound better. And so we redid it, and I think it had a little more life to it. And like when we were putting it together at the house, he was like, man, I used to hate this song.
I did, man. I was just like, it was turnt, but it was dry as hell. Like it was just
It
who
just
I
had no life into
it. was
it
just
for
who
you.
I recorded it with at first. It just wasn't what it needed to be. You know?
Yeah.
And then he performed it that 444 Evolution 444, and
And that shit was crazy.
yeah.
Like I was just like, yeah, I'm really feeling this song now. Like when I just that song had been out for like a year.
You just need to get touched. You just need to get a little. You need to get a little touch.
Need to get a little bit of grease on it.
A little flavor, a little seasoning.
Yeah,
that's all it was. It needed him.
Yeah, and then it put me on top of about 20 people. You know, jumped right on their heads.
On me, you gotta talk your shit. I think that is a interesting take on that. As far as producer and artist, it's kind of like, you know how like whenever you see Gunna, you think about Weezy on the beat.
Yeah,
you be like Weezy. You be like, all right, Gunna and Weezy hand in hand. When you're working, do you think that the producer is just as important nowadays?
I do, and also
I definitely I definitely do, because Coi Leray sounds like ass, but when she did Self Love, she sounded fucking amazing.
Exactly,
and I didn't even know that was her.
You were like, who is this?
Yeah, I had to read it to see that was her. But Self Love sounds amazing.
No, she's been stepping her game up.
I don't listen to her, so like the most that I've listened to her, I don't like any of it.
Yeah.
That's like the one song that I like that she's on.
Well, I actually haven't heard this
today.
one. I've heard a few songs by her. What's so different about this one?
Self Love.
So Metro.
Metro Boomin threw me off.
Metro.
Metro.
In the group chat, Don Luffy 55 said, "I once was told a robot guy sucked toes. Is that true?"
The robot? Are you talking about?
You once were told, and it is definitely true.
I wouldn't call him a robot. I would say Cyclops.
Ooh.
I would think more of a rage god.
Yeah. It's giving Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
But yeah,
I looked over and that just threw me off.
But yeah, Metro did the album for the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so he had a whole bunch of people on there, and
Which
she
was crazy.
One of them.
Got you.
I've watched the movie for the first time last night.
Fantastic.
I've watched it like
It
12
was.
times.
It was. I was just like, damn, this shit is fucking great.
Yeah,
Just from a musical standpoint, I was
Yeah.
like,
absolutely. And
yeah,
I'm so
if you see it, like it's inspiring.
And the soundtrack from the first one was good, but then they were just like, yeah, let's just throw some gasoline on this shit.
the
Like,
soundtrack from the first one was good, but there was some in there that I didn't even know was on
He
there.
said we ain't ignore you,
But-
big dog. We ain't ignore you.
Yeah, you got your shit read.
sensitive ass nigga.
He got you, bro.
But definitely, I think
He does.
they're just as important, if not in some cases more important, because they elevate the artist's sound so much to the point where they can sound completely different and actually make me like their fucking music.
So this is actually like one of my favorite topics to talk about because it shapes music. So everybody hated Russ. Like everybody went on this tangent where they hated Russ. And do y'all know Russ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never not liked him.
Okay.
That's
so
why I was like, they hated Russ.
But no, I did
People-
know that they didn't like
people
him.
in the industry hated Russ.
Yeah.
The
Was it
reason
because of the
why
independent stuff.
a little bit because of that. But what happened was Russ made a comment saying that music sucks nowadays because all the same producers are getting their music out, like their beats out there, and all the artists are just using the same producers' beats, and the producers are just making the same music over and over again. And I was like, he's right. And everybody, like Metro Boomin, he was pissed, and like all these other, I think maybe Murder Beats, I don't know, but it was like a bunch of people, a bunch of beat producers were pissed off at Russ, and the artists were too. But he was right, in my opinion. Like he just spoke his mind, and he's right. Because like back in the day, like shoot, you had like Scott Storch, Timberland, Dr. Dre, like all these producers had beats that were just
different.
crazy.
Yeah.
Missy-
Especially Timberland.
Timberland was going. He's still
Stupid.
Timberland was going ham with
Still stupid.
what's her name? Nelly
Nelly
Furtado.
Furtado.
Oh,
And she's thick now.
shoot your shot. Tell you love her.
Who else?
Love you.
Missy Elliott. Like his beats were just crazy, and like when you heard it, it was like, oh, he did something right here, and like he's got these iconic beats. But nowadays, like if you heard a beat, like back then, if you heard a beat, it just sounded amazing, and that was made the song. But now it's like the words kind of have to make the song. You know what I mean?
Because every beat is gonna be the same.
Because all the beats kind of sound the same.
I feel like it got past that point because originally, originally it got to, I don't know, I feel like the 2016 to like 2020 range, there was like beats were carrying songs. They were carrying a lot of artists. Like you didn't have to really say shit. You your beat had to be
flow.
hard. That's it. You just had to flow.
To me, it's still beats still carry music today.
Yeah,
because that's how so many songs become viral on TikTok.
I think people just got tired now. I think it's like the beats will carry, but as far as the artists being respected,
the overwhelming majority of people don't give a fuck about the lyrics because they'll say like there'll be some song, like for instance, the gay raps, right? Now, if you ever listen to them, so basically it's a guy who takes songs that are already songs and then makes them extremely overly gay. People still rock that song because
they be riding the beat.
But they don't listen.
It don't matter what they say.
They don't listen to the lyrics because the beat is so good. And then you get some people where they're rocking with it, and then you get that random clarity moment where you're like hearing what he says, and then you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's how I was with Thug for a minute. I was like, "What the hell is he saying?" And then I finally listened. I was like, "Okay, you saying a little something." And then other stuff he be saying, I'd be like,
"The fuck are you saying?"
Nah, that's what I'd be saying. I'd be like, some things I want to give you, like Check is a good song.
I will give you a great example in somebody who is relative to today.
Yeah,
Yeet.
That's
beats
one of
fucking fire.
His beats be hard.
Fire. Ad-libs fire. Listen to what that nigga saying. You gonna be like, the hell is this?
I'm supposed to be dying for him too. They be like, they gonna die
because he capturing the
the
moment. I ain't gonna lie, he definitely capturing the moment and the vibe, and it's working. But as soon as that group grow out of that, it's over with.
Yeah, just like back in the day when Designer was so big, nobody knew what the fuck he was saying.
I tried hard, boy.
Oh, I understand. The crazy thing is, I actually understood most of the shit he was saying.
You had to rewire your brain to kind of like hear it.
I've talked to a lot of people that talk like him, so it wasn't like difficult for me. But yeah, like listening to his music, it all sound really good, but you have absolutely no idea what he was saying. He could really just be making sounds, and it would have been the exact same thing.
No, you know who really did it? Who really kind of messed it up, but started a wave? The Migos.
Oh yeah,
they started. I feel like when they kept saying they started the wave, these niggas weren't lying. They weren't lying. They started the wave, but everybody trying to get the Migos flow, but you can't understand them.
Yeah,
you can understand. You could like take off for a second. I was like, dang, he rapping real fast, but he was actually spitting. And then I hear the rest of them. I was like, okay, y'all really talking y'all stuff, and I can hear it. And then everybody started following. That's why I was like, that's like 2016 when they dropped Culture. Is when was it Culture 1? I think it was Culture 1. That one went crazy. That's the one that had that's the one that had Bad and Bougie on it. So yeah, after that it just started going downhill, and then beats were carrying, and then now we have people like Bow Wow saying that like rap ain't the same no more. But
it's really not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's also why some people don't like Eminem because he raps too fast. Like a lot of people, it's just weird that like some people like
I just miss Slim Shady, man.
yeah. He's not doing drugs anymore.
Yeah. After he was never the same when he became
He's
sober.
never the same when he went sober.
Think about it.
But a lot of people didn't like fuck with his music. One, because he's white, but two, because he raps too fast, and people were just like, "This is essentially just mumble rap." Even though you're saying something, this is mumble rap to me, and so a lot of people just didn't like fuck with him.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of the fast rap because I'd rather just actually hear what you're saying and just go with it. But there are some people who kind of rap fast, but they don't really make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just put a burst of it and then in your song, just splash it in there. Don't bombard me with your whole sonic beam of lyrics.
Yeah,
but that's why I think it's a subjective. Like it's a time and a place for certain songs. Because you be like, dang, I put Kendrick on, I want to turn my brain on a little bit. But he also got songs that are like, I can turn my brain off a little bit. If you can do that, then
He does
like,
not.
He ain't, you don't think he got something
No.
you can turn your brain off on?
No.
You go listen to every last single one.
I've seen it. I've heard it. I've heard them all.
And
Wait,
then
what
one
are we
day,
talking
one
about?
day it's
Kendrick?
gonna snap in. You
I don't
gonna be
know.
like, Wait
No,
a minute.
that's
I feel like he
true.
did that a little bit on his last
He
album.
has
It's shit
The
hitting
last
everywhere.
one they did,
The
like, it was a
one- the
therapy
ones
album, but
that-
I still turn my brain off on like N95 sometimes.
most of the ones that he has that you kind of turn your brain off to are features that he's on.
That is true.
But if it's not a feature, then you gotta listen.
Because Family Ties with Baby Keem, I be turning my brain off a little bit because I know the lyrics.
Yeah.
When
It's
you know
just
the-
turn.
It is.
You don't have to have your brain on. It just turn.
I didn't really care for that album, honestly.
You talking about the last one?
Yeah.
I think it was because I was late and I was driving late at night, and it was like, and then all of a sudden he was like,
All the vibes were setting.
all the vibes was just there. He started talking about therapy. I just hopped out of therapy, and I was like, this is me. This is me. I get this. I needed this.
I actually haven't heard it.
Really?
Yeah.
I would suggest you. I mean, do you listen to Kendrick?
Sometimes, yeah. But he's not like my favorite.
Okay. Yeah. I really liked To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yep.
And
Go.
there was one more album I really liked by him. Probably just Good Kid, Mad City.
I'm about to say Section 8.
You would have to send
Section 8. Oh,
Section 8 is pretty good.
definitely send it to me because I'll forget.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, it's also I didn't actually start listening to like full albums until like the middle of last year.
really.
Yeah, I normally don't listen to full albums. I just listen to like parts of the songs on the
wow.
albums. So that's mostly because when I used to listen to albums, there was a lot of songs that I didn't like. So I was just like, whoa.
See, that's a whole nother conversation.
Whole nother conversation.
Yup, we can get into that one in the next one. I'm about to say if anything else left, I was like, we back pretty much out of time on this one.
Oh no, I'm straight.
For sure, for sure. But hey, we appreciate y'all coming through on Twitch. We appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna keep the ball rolling on this one. Y'all stay tuned on that. And YouTube people, we appreciate you coming through. And all the listeners, rate us 5 stars on all listening platforms to help us out on the algorithm. Lets us keep going on so we can reach viewers and listeners just like you guys. So go ahead and like, share.
And if you're down with the get down, go ahead and subscribe.